Welcome back to Talk and Dribble, episode 47, NBA edition. We are in the midst of the off-season, aren't we? And there's a big trade period going on. Shams just tweeting left, right, and centre about massive deals going on. So much has happened in the first few hours that, the computer's just locked. We were just so much happening.
Yeah. Shams' active free agency is here. It's great. You just need to be checking your phone constantly because Shams is updating. It's Shams or it's scams or it's not Woj anymore.
It's not Woj. I miss Woj. Bring Woj back. Shams washed.
It's NBA Sentinel.
Don't get Sentinel. Do not get Sentinel.
Bro, LeBron's been traded about 7 times already. But no, it's a great time of year. It's almost sometimes more entertaining than the actual season itself. Just seeing where these players are going to go.
100%.
But also the draft. We haven't actually had an ep since the draft's happened, so we're going to have a bit of free agency chatter, a bit of draft chatter.
What's going on?
But what's happened so far notably today in free agency?
Massive one, I think, just blockbuster was MPJ traded to the Brooklyn Nets and a future unprotected 2032 first-round pick for Cam Johnson.
Damn.
So Denver, and they also picked up Bruce Brown on a 1-year minimum contract to bring him back, the championship hero. Denver building something again there. I love what they're doing.
Making moves. They
100%.
They probably had to get off MPJ's contract. And the fact that he's got his injuries, defensively pretty lackluster.
Yep.
They've just essentially switched him out for a like for like, but then Cam Johnson has that defensive upside.
100%.
Bit more versatile, a bit more
keen to see him actually playing in a championship-driven squad, someone where he's actually playing some meaningful basketball.
Well, we've seen that with Phoenix, and he was great in that final stretch. And now,
Bro, good luck to the Nets. You've got Cam, Thomas, and MPJ on the same team. No one's touching the rock. No one is touching the rock.
That ball ain't moving, bro.
That shit's actually going to be insane.
Speaking of Cam Thomas, I think he signed a. Maybe he didn't. No, I think I saw something that someone predicted. Oh, no, I didn't get settled. No, it was this TikTok of this guy predicting what's going to happen. Okay. And it was like he's going to sign a 4-year 80 mil or something. But he actually hasn't yet. So Hogan Bulls is on that.
All right. Also, D'Lo to the Mavs on a 2-year 13 mil. They got the veteran guard they wanted. Really fits the mold of Nico Harrison's defensive-minded team, doesn't he? Exactly what they need. But no, the second year's a player option as well. So obviously, if he has a good year this year, then he can look to earn more. But yeah, don't mind it for the Mavs. Not too bad. I would have preferred him go after like a Drew Holiday or a Chris Paul. I think that would have fit the mold a bit better.
Hey, there's still time to make moves. Like it seems to be Houston, Atlanta, and Memphis. They keep signing everyone. Bro, Houston making moves.
Yeah.
They just signed Clint Capella today.
Yep.
Everyone was expecting him to go to either the Lakers or maybe the Warriors.
100%.
Lakers still don't have a 5-man. I don't think there's going to be any left on the market. Brook Lopez, he's gone to the Clippers on a 2-year deal.
Yep, 2-year 18 mil, and obviously Capella 3 years, 21.5 mil.
Back to Houston.
Back to Houston. And
back
then,
to his,
alongside Dorian Finney-Smith, a 3-year, $52 million contract. So the Lakers traded away D'Lo and a second-round pick for nothing.
And now both of those players are on other Western Conference teams. D'Lo
100%.
with Dallas, he'll be starting the start of the season before Kyrie comes back. Dorian Finney-Smith, he's a player every team wants.
Yeah.
Like every team, you're going to give up, your 10, 15 mil for this guy a year.
Yep.
Defensive wing, can play both sides of the ball, and didn't shoot the lights out in the Lakers playoff series against the Timberwolves, but bro, you'd rather him on your team than versing him in a playoff series.
Yeah, for sure. And then heartbreaking, Minnesota Timberwolves lose our heart and soul of the squad. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is headed to the Atlanta Hawks on a 4-year, $62 million contract. Great get for the Hawks.
Yeah.
They are cooking something after the draft, which was insane. They got an additional first-round pick for giving up Derek Queen pretty much, which was just an absolute robbery by him. They've got KP there, and they're just starting to make some really solid moves right now.
Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard
to a 1-year, $11 million deal.
Love that. They're building something there. They had Karis LeVert, didn't they? Because he's just moved off to the Detroit Pistons on a 2-year, $29 million deal.
He's just taking Malik Beasley's money. Because Malik Beasley go a little greedy.
Because Malik Beasley's taking the league's money.
Bro, investigated for what? He's sports tampering or betting with the sports props, the points. Bro, there's that many props.
Just saw a video come out today as well when he was on the T-Balls. We were down like 7, I think.
Oh, no.
They hit a free throw, go up 8. The spread's 6.5. He grabs it, bolts down the court, dunks it with like 2 seconds left.
What are we doing?
His last play in the NBA will be him getting the ball passed to him on a 3-point line and fubbling it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Was that by accident?
Ending Detroit's season. Bro, he was ready to sign. They reckon it was like a 3-year, 48 mil, something like that.
He hit the second most threes in the league.
Yeah.
And that's only because Ant hit like 7 in the last game of the season. Like,
Will we see Malik Beasley suit up again?
I don't think so. Warriors legend and championship player Kevon Looney, our Looney Tunes, has moved over to the Pels on a 2-year, 16 mil. Pray for those knees. Right. Holy shit. Don't want to be going to the Pels. That's just instant injury. It's either he's gaining 300 pounds or he's going to be walking around with crutches for the rest of his life. So there's no in between there.
It's going to be weird seeing him in a different team.
100%. I don't like it.
Luke Cornett. 4-year, $41 million deal with the Spurs. Get your bread, Luke Cornett. That's off. What a man.
Get around it.
I saw predictions saying that he's going to sign a minimum with some teams, bro. Give this man his money.
Beast. We'd love to see it. From the start, it looked like it was just going to be, it looked like Shams just had Memphis sources. It was Triple J signed a massive extension. I think, what was it, 5 years, 290?
Yeah, around that.
And then they signed Ty Jerome as well to a 3-year, 28, which is an absolute steal for Ty Jerome, I believe.
Re-signed Cam Spencer.
And Cam Spencer as well.
5-year, $240 million max deal for Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, right. Yep, love it. So that's huge. Yep. Blockbuster for the Bulls. Trey Jones, 3 years, 24 mil. So
we're cooking.
You know, who would you want to go after? Ty Jerome or let's keep Trey Jones?
I think you're forgetting. We just signed for Isaac Okoro. The 6th pick from what, the 2018 draft?
Is an all-time
We got Pat Will. Do we want a second Pat Will? Absolutely we do. Do we want to pay him like 150 mil across their 2 contracts? Absolutely we do.
Not very often that you draft a bust and that bust also gets paid like a max player.
Yeah. He's getting paid, what, 90 mil across 5 years?
Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls.
We're cooking, I'm telling you. We're going to sign Giddy. Watch out for a Kobe White trade. It's going to happen. We're going to offload that, man.
Yeah. Oh, another heart and soul. Luka Garza leaving the T-Wolves as well on a 2-year, 5 mil with the Ticks. KBJ. I don't know if we talked about this one. Just re-signed with the Bucks as well on a 2-year, 11. Hats off to him. Got his career back on track.
Yep.
He actually ended up playing some high-quality basketball towards the end of the season, so hats off to him. And Jake LaRavia goes to the Lakers. Lakers didn't get their big man, but they got a random bloke who I guess can shoot some threes. So 2 years to 12 mil for him. Probably be out of the league in a couple of years while playing at the Lakers.
Is that everything that's kind of happened so far?
Those are the big ones. Those are the big ones. 100%. We got a lot to go.
Yeah, we do. Speaking of, LeBron James just opted into his contract with the Lakers, $53 million a year, just the 1 year. And now there's talks of him potentially being traded. So what we can chat about. Who are the best suitors for LeBron James?
It's super tough. There's not many, like we were kind of touching on before, I don't think there's many teams out there that would give up the farm for LeBron right now. And you have to max what his contract is giving out as well. So it really goes to who's got the capital to be given up for a LeBron James, where you're really getting him for a 1-year deal. You're getting him 1 year, 1 year window.
Yeah, it's a balance. You've got a 40-year-old LeBron. You obviously have to give up some kind of salary compensation to match the contracts. And you also have to give up high quality players for what, a 1-year deal. So it's like a balance of, do we give up potentially players who can be successful for us in the long run, who are getting paid a decent amount to match the contract just for 1 year of LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron.
Or
I do a lot for a 1 year of LeBron. So,
but like, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
It depends. Obviously, it's team by team. I think a team that's definitely involved is everyone would love to see him go back to the land. So go back to Cleveland. I think that would be huge. Cavs, I assume, are looking to move off Darius Garland.
I don't think they're looking to move off him. I think they're willing to move off him.
Yeah,
so they offered him in a trade to Kevin Durant. Yep. Like you would be. Like you'd be willing to get rid of a Darius Garland for a KD or a LeBron.
It's super tough for Darius. He's been an all-star, but he's an undersized guard who doesn't play defense and has consistent injury issues now. That's been multiple times he hasn't been able to play through a playoff series and has gotten injured halfway through the season. So there's a lot of issues that come along with him. He's a stud, but when you take into account what he lacks right now, and that really came to show in why Cleveland got eliminated in the playoffs, maybe it is enough to just be like, do we move him off to the Lakers, bring in 1 year of LeBron?
The issue is, though, that they're over the second apron. So they have a few trade restrictions. They can't combine player contracts to match just one player's contract. So they need to get under the second apron. They have to make a trade before they make a trade for LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Bleacher Report do a proposed trade for LeBron from Cleveland. Darius Garland, Jared Allen, and DeAndre Hunter for LeBron. Yeah. Which one does make sense.
So they can't do that.
They can't do that. But
that is
why the hell would you do that?
That is so much.
3 starters for a 40-year-old LeBron. Would a team of Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and LeBron win a chip?
Look, I don't think so. I wouldn't expect them to.
They wouldn't beat OKC. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so it's super tough. It's really who's willing to. I would love, like we were talking about, would love to see the Warriors go after him. seeing Steph and LeBron play maybe 1 year together, that could put years on LeBron's career. You never know. Maybe there'd be people like, this is pretty fun. Let's play another like 10 years.
The thing is, the only trade that could probably work is trading Jimmy away, who they just got. Like, I don't think the Warriors would do that. No. Another team thrown out there is Dallas. Imagine that. Dallas trade for him. They'd have to give up.
Watch him give up Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis.
You'd have to give up like a Gafford, like a PJ Washington maybe.
So they're under the second apron, aren't they? They're not over it?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So they have players. They actually have juicy contracts.
Yeah.
Like Gafford, Washington, Najee Marshall, Caleb Martin, and then maybe picks. But then there's also the other side. Why would you give up that if you were the Lakers? Like, why would you give up LeBron James for players of that quality? There's even Klay Thompson.
You're basically pairing him with the Dallas Mavericks again. Luka with the Dallas Mavericks. You're getting him Daniel Gafford as your center. You're getting him PJ Washington.
The Lakers and Mavericks is reversed.
They're just transforming.
It's D-Russ, AD, and LeBron. And then it's Luka.
Luka, Gafford, PJ,
Najee Marshall. Bro, what are we doing?
Just chuck Kyrie in there. Kyrie in one leg.
Oh, really? That's quality. Hey, crazier things have happened. Like, that could, honestly, if I saw that, Shams report that, I wouldn't be surprised.
He'd have to do another one where it's like, no, I'm not getting hacked. This is actually happening.
Another one, another potential, that video leaked of LeBron out for dinner talking about the Knicks.
Yeah.
Saying he's looking at the Knicks or something like that. Yep. So could they give up like an OG, Mitch Robinson, a pick? Would you accept that as the Lakers? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think you do. Look, we love LeBron, but as any franchise, there's no way I'd be giving up core pieces for him for 1 year. It's a 1 year loan of LeBron.
No, but the reality is, if there is a trade to happen, you're going to have to give up core pieces.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what teams would actually do that?
Well, the Knicks say the Knicks do it. Say they give up an OG. OG or Mikal. Are you winning a chip with the core of Brunson, Katz, Josh Hart, LeBron James?
A lot of defensive liabilities. I don't think they do.
And one of Mikal Bridges or OG.
I don't think so. No? I don't think so. Look, I'd love to see it, but...
Bro, they got to a conference final with that team. Say you just switch LeBron.
Do you think that team can beat like a Thunder? Or what Denver's building right now?
I think the Knicks had the chance to have a really competitive series with this team against the Thunder. There were a few games out from getting there. I think they could have been competitive. I don't think they were beating the Thunder. But look, the Pacers with their squad almost beat the Thunder. And they don't have any superstar notable players.
I think that's more off scheme. I think that's more off scheme and just the way they played instead of the roster they're building. Talking about LeBron's still a player that needs to be fairly ball dominant. Yeah. And you're talking about Jalen Brunson's probably one of the most ball dominant players in the league. Yeah, true. Like he's not an off-ball player, and LeBron, he can play off-ball, but he's not really at that stage. So it's someone who is willing to take in LeBron and kind of let him have the keys to the offense and run it, which not many teams would be willing to do right now because they've all got solidified stars that they believe in.
But also, he's definitely looking, I think he'd be happy to have a role where he's not as ball dominant like he was with Luka. Yeah. So the reality is he could still stay with the Lakers. But if he went to a New York, Brunson obviously has the keys. A 40-year-old LeBron is not taking the keys of the offense. That's just not... He doesn't have the energy for that. If he can consume as much energy on the offensive end, so he's not as much of a liability defensively, that is great.
I would love to see LeBron in New York would be crazy.
Okay, if you could have a prediction right now, what's happening? Is he staying with the Lakers?
Oh, I think he's staying. I can't see him moving. I don't think they'll get a deal that they want. I think they've got a chance. If they build the right pieces around this Lakers team, they've got a chance to go after a championship, I believe. So I think he's staying. Yeah, I just don't think a deal will be done. I don't think there's a good enough deal out there that both parties would be happy with.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's staying. If he is going anywhere, I think it's a West Coast team. Like, I think it's...
Also not New York then?
I don't think New York. I think it'd be like a Dallas or a...
We'll give you Rudy Gobert deal right now. Rudy Gobert for LeBron James. Do it. Rob, do it. I reckon we can get it done.
Before this MPJ trade, I was thinking Nuggets were like a smoky. You give up an MPJ, a couple picks. Because the contracts, I think you'd have to give up someone else.
Yeah, they'd somewhat match. Yeah, true.
But not
that is
you wouldn't do that.
No.
All right. Free agency, we'll keep an eye on the phones.
100%. Yeah, the Shams washed a little bit. Haven't heard anything in a while. There was a 12-minute break between tweets, which I was quite concerned about.
On day one of free agency, what are we doing?
I was freaking out.
Well, actually, it's not official. No, there's no contracts being signed. This is the moratorium period.
Is that a 3-day period on
3-day
2K?
period. It's actually 6 days in real life.
Oh.
Moratorium in my league lovers out there.
But it's dangerous.
You think you've signed someone, then it's like, oh, the Lakers have matched LeBron James' contract.
And it's just like, holy shit, what do you expect me to do? I just gave him like $100 million a year.
I just traded 7 of my players and just brought Giannis Antetokounmpo in. And what are you telling me they've matched his contract?
I want to match it back.
I have to just get rid of this rebuild?
Yeah. That's when you hit the reset button for sure.
Absolutely. That's when you chuck the
trade override.
The trade override on. Anyway. Let's talk some draft talk.
Yeah. 100%. It was a great draft. I think a lot of it went to plan in the first few picks. Obviously, Cooper Flagg to the Dallas Mavericks, which is still just unheard of how they ended up getting that. Love it. Dylan Harper to the Spurs. Love that. They've got 3 potential all-star guards right there now. So it depends what they're going to do with that. I strongly believe if they're going to move off any of them, I think it could be a De'Aaron Fox in terms of how they see this timeline, if they want to do this win now sort of mode, or if they want to just be like, let's let this kind of core grow together like the Thunder have just done.
Yeah.
So I think
there's no harm in just letting it blossom organically. You brought in Fox for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You gave up quite a few players, quite a bit of depth to get Fox. So I think actually see how it looks before any moves.
I reckon if any move actually happens, it will be around the All-Star break because it's like, say it looks a bit clunky and Fox doesn't really match that. Because when you look at it, he's possibly the worst defender out of those 3. Like obviously we haven't seen Dylan Harper at the high level yet. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the Spurs have. I think they've got a huge chance at a playoff push this year. VJ Edgecombe to the 76ers. Yep. Yeah, good athletic wing, which we really like.
That potential starting lineup of what? If all healthy, Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, VJ Edgecombe, PG, Joel Embiid.
And that is a big if healthy, because you're talking about 2 of the most unhealthiest players in the league, really. But hey, fingers crossed. I would love to see him put a season together. And then a few ones. You guys took a big swing on a bloke called Noah Sengwe.
Yeah, 6'9", forward, elite handles, dynamic finishing package, and outstanding value on the defensive end. Yeah, that was his description. But he needs work on his shooting. So, but hey, this gives me promise. This bloke said, before he was drafted, I want to be a guy who can do everything on the court. I watch a lot of Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, and Kawhi Leonard, players that can dribble, pass, shoot, and defend.
It looks like still that so many teams are going after that Giannis Antetokounmpo blossom style, where it's like they took a risk on like the Thon Makers and stuff, and it's like if this guy pans out, then we've got this all-time player on our hands. So it looks like teams are still willing to take that risk. And at pick 12, I think that is fair enough. I don't think obviously we'll look back on it in a few years and see, but it doesn't feel like you guys missed on someone huge behind him. Obviously we don't know. Pan out, but I like it.
Ace Bailey finally reported to Utah. There was a bit of drama with that.
Yeah.
People weren't sure where he was sitting. People said that his agent was telling him, these are the teams you should go to, these are the teams you shouldn't go to.
And he publicly let everyone know he didn't want to land in Utah. And Danny Ainge is like, you know what? Fuck that. We are picking you, which I have no issue with. Bro, you can't let these 18-year-olds call the shots. No. You're the NBA organization. You're the team that's going to bring them in. You can't let these young blokes call the shots. If that's the player you want, you take it. Yep. Danny Ainge has done that. I think it's a great pick. The upside of Ace Bailey is crazy. The idea of Ace Bailey is crazy. It's just, what are you actually getting? We've seen in college, he's a shot maker. But obviously his big issue is there's not much separation. He's not great at getting players involved. He's a very heliocentric go score first player. So I guess we'll see, but I'm excited to see that. There's so many potential boom or bust players in this draft.
Who did Timberwolves pick?
So we took Joan Beringer out of France. He's an 18-year-old. Looks like we're kind of breeding in. We took 2 big men. We also took Rocco in the second round, the Aussie from Brisbane, which we love. So 2 7-foot-plus players. Looks like we're kind of bringing in that mold of who's going to take over that 5-man once Rudy's done. Yep. I expect us to hold on to Rudy and kind of let him blossom these guys into something. And then eventually once Rudy kind of finishes up, we've got someone there to take control of that defense. But I really like it. I thought we're heading in looking for a guard, but I think we might head more of a veteran guard player in that sense. There's talks about us possibly signing Russ, which, look, I'm 50-50 about, but I really like our draft. I was really happy with it. I think there's a lot of upside about it. So yeah, I liked what the T-Wolves did. We also traded down quite a bit in the second round. We had the first pick of the second round and moved multiple picks backwards to rack up some future capital, which I really enjoy. So
speaking of those Aussies, we had 4 Aussies drafted in the one day or in the one draft, which is the most since 1997. We had, as you said, Rocco Sikorsky, 45th pick. He was actually selected by us, the Bulls, traded you guys to traded to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a Brizzy Bullets player in the NBL. And we had Tyrese Proctor, 49th pick by the Cavaliers. Point guard started for Duke.
Yep.
For what? Was he there for 4 years?
He ended up doing 3 years. Was
3
it 4 years?
Yeah, no, he was a baller.
I think it was 3 years. I could be wrong though. Yeah.
Cavs got a good one there. Then we had Alex Tui, 52nd pick, selected by Phoenix and then traded to Golden State.
Yeah,
he played for the Sydney Kings this recent season.
Yeah.
And then we had Lachlan Ulbrich, 55th pick by the Lakers, traded to my Bulls. Bro, making moves.
Best pick of the draft.
He just won the chip, the NBL chip with the Illawarra Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keen.
I love it.
Trey Jones, Lachlan Ulbrich, Josh Giddey, Isaac Okoro.
Bro, who's stopping that team? Probably the play-in. It's
probably the summer league.
I love it though. Bulls making some sort of moves. We'd love to see it.
But hats off to the Aussies, man.
Yeah.
Hats off to the Aussies.
It's every year. It feels like we're getting more and more Aussies in there, and it feels like just a absolute range of Frenchmen are coming into the league. It's crazy. I feel like it's doubling every first round for the last 5 years. Everyone saw Wemby come in and they're like, all right, now Ricochet, now Saad, now Berenger, Esengwe, all these blokes. Let's just rack them up.
Speaking of Ricochet, the Frenchman, number one picks, a lot of number one picks who have been very good and some number one picks who have been not so good. We thought we'd actually rank the last 10 of them. Yeah. So this is our ranking of the last 10 number one picks from 10 to 1 in the 100%. NBA. Okay? So start with 10. Start with 10.
I think we feel for this man, but coming in number 10 is Markel Fultz.
Yeah.
Just had an horrific start to his career. Had the shoulder issues, which we thought no one actually really figured out what it was, but just couldn't get himself going.
Case of the heebie-jeebies.
He got hit with the heebie-jeebies.
Serious case.
He went through a crazy form shooting that we've never seen before, but ended up finding a bit of a home in Orlando. Played some good basketball there. Ended up getting released. Still looking for a team these days, but just not what he panned out to be, especially when you think Tatum was taking a couple of picks afterwards, which hurts, but
you look at that draft and you see who went number one. It's crazy. That
it's
draft
so sad,
stacked.
but we feel for him.
Number 9, we got Zachary Ricochet. Only had the one season, but it was fair to say Atlanta Hawks kind of got stitched up getting the number 1 pick in that draft. When there's a draft when you have Victor Wembanyama and Cooper Flagg on either side, and then you get the draft with Zachary Ricochet as the number 1.
Yeah. What was
Pretty
it? In 4 out of the 5 years, I think it went.
Ant, Cade, Paolo, Zion.
Wemby. Oh, yeah.
Wemby,
Zion was
Flagg,
before Ant.
And then Ricochet.
Yeah.
Like, out of all those blokes, you get Ricochet.
You'd be so flat.
Hey, he might be great.
Yeah.
But,
hey, but hats off to him. Atlanta's building something. Yeah. But, yeah, look, ceiling-wise, he's probably not where these blokes are. Coming in number 8, he actually could have fallen because he actually just got released by the Portland Trail Blazers. But that's DeAndre Ayton, sorry. Still plays some high-quality basketball. He was in a championship near squad with the Phoenix Suns, just got done to the Bucks. He played some high-quality basketball. They moved off him to the Portland Trail Blazers, and obviously he's had a few issues in his career, kind of labelled a bit of a lazy sort of player, which you don't want to see, but hey, he might find some sort of resurgence at a different team now, but he's dropped down a bit, especially when you get taken over Luka. That hurts.
Man's got more sex tapes than rings. Anyway, number 7, we got Ben Simmons.
Wow.
Crazy, bro. Number 7, we got Ben Simmons. So, man isn't going too well right now. He's actually just come out and said he's not taking the minimum with everyone. He wants something more than that.
Yep.
Look, multi-time All-Star.
Yeah. Should have had a depoy. Rudy Gobert robbed him of that.
Bro, as Colin Coward said, LeBron.
We're good.
We're good, bro.
We're good, bro.
We're good. We got Ben Simmons. Probably, like, that is
a
take that aged like milk. That is probably the worst take I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But
hey, Uncle Colin missed on that one, but he hits on a lot. Don't be dissing the man, Coward.
Simmons at his best was great.
He was
and we had it for a few years. One of the best Aussies of all time.
I thought he was one of the best players to watch in the league. I thought he was super exciting. He just, obviously, no one knows if it was mental injuries, what's happened, but the drop-off has been quite saddening.
It needs to be studied.
100%. It's insane. Coming in at number 6 is a similar prospect in Zion Williamson. The hype around him was nearly as large as what we saw as LeBron when he got drafted. It was insane. Got stitched up going to New Orleans. Probably the worst possible start we've seen. But he's just had a lot of injury issues, weight issues, which we've seen. When he's played, he's been elite. He's a 2-time All-Star, and he's probably played not even a full season yet. So, at his best, he's still like an unstoppable player, but you just don't know what you're getting.
We saw him play.
He was crazy.
Live, he is insane.
Yep.
And him on the pitch, he's like a top 20 player in the league.
Yep.
He has top 10 potential, top 5 potential. Just the reality is we don't see it enough.
Yeah.
So,
literally, not this season, the season before, they were running him at the point, and it looked unstoppable.
Yeah.
Pels were a top 4 seed, looking elite, and then injuries hit him like a train, which seems to be every year. So Zion falls to 6.
Number 5, Cooper Flagg. Hasn't even played a game, but we got him 5th. This man, I reckon he's going to be probably 2 or 3 on this list based on the ceilings, after the first few seasons. This guy, generational talent.
Yep.
I actually saw this is the first white American drafted number 1 since 1970 something. The 70s, which is insane.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the draft picks
I couldn't even tell you one.
Yeah, right.
Literally. So
that is crazy.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, just thought
that's off to him. Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, he's a
making
baller.
history out
here.
He's
going to be a baller.
Oh, and
say his offense doesn't translate quite as we think it will in the NBA, bro. He has defensive player of the year capabilities.
And what
insane.
number 1 pick gets to go into a system where they've already got Anthony Davis there, and we're just in a championship 2 years ago? It's pretty insane. Him and Dylan Harper have both gone to elite situations, and then Ace Bailey found himself in Utah. But his ceiling is unmatched. Coming in number 4, though, first time All-Star this year is Paolo Banchero. Ceiling is unmatched. Obviously, we'd like to see him get some sort of a jump shot going, but early on he was compared to LeBron, and he's got very similar tendencies. I think him and France have a good chance to really build something in Orlando. Love the way he plays as a super smooth operator, and Paolo, they hit on that. To think it could have been a Jabari Smith Jr. first pick, and it switched 10 minutes before the pick, they made the right call there, Orlando.
Absolutely. Man's a baller.
Sure. He's a beast.
Number 3, we've got Cade Cunningham. Just led his Detroit Pistons to the 6th seed. Took 2 games off the Knicks in the playoffs, but now that he's actually staying healthy these last 2 seasons, he's going to be an all-star for the next 10, 11, 12 years. He's going to be one of the best guards in the East. The size of him, his playmaking, the shiftiness, just the control he has in the game. And he controls basically, essentially, from start to finish the game for Detroit.
We said at the start of the year, I feel like he's a really perfect blend of an SGA and Luka, just in terms of his patience, the body work that he has. He's a taller guard. He's a super smooth operator, gets to his spots, and also has the playmaking to lift others with him. So obviously not saying he's going to be those players, but he's got the mold of that. So ceiling's insane. Number 2, the human highlight reel, just the most exciting player in the league and my favorite player right now, Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Fair to say we hit on that pick. Oh, my days. I was super concerned early on when I saw LaMelo Ball dropping triple-doubles at the age of 18, and Ant was pretty much just making dunks. But he has had one of the smoothest, kind of on a Shea level, where just every year you've just seen him get better. He's improved on something. Went from improving on his playmaking to his handle to made the most threes this season, which who would have thought that? Next year, I hope he learns how to play with his back to the basket. I think he'll be unstoppable then. But it's been great to see, and he has taken a big leap. Could be the face of the league at some point in his career. Definitely hit on that.
I think the best thing for his career so far was playing in the Olympics under Steve Kerr, with Steph Curry, with KD, with LeBron, seeing how these professionals operate.
Helped him a lot.
This guy, he's going to be generational.
Oh, for sure.
And number 1, Victor Wembanyama. Man is an alien. How can you not have him at number 1? The ceiling, we've never quite seen a ceiling of this potential. We've never seen it.
No.
You'd think he's going to be one of the greatest players of all time when it's said and done. If he just stays on the pitch, he's going to win defensive player just about every year.
He led the league in blocks this year and missed half the season.
It wouldn't be surprising if he wins MVP this year. If Spurs take a massive jump, get a top 3-4 seed, and he's on the number 1 on everyone's MVP ballot. But that's our list.
There we go. It's pretty loaded. It is pretty loaded. 100%.
I actually skipped a segment.
I was thinking, am I asking you or are you asking me?
I don't know.
I think you're asking me.
Okay, I'm asking you.
I'm pretty sure.
So, we thought we'd address Cooper Flagg.
Yeah. Speaking about number 1 picks.
We're going to compare him to the current talent of the NBA. So, who are you taking for the future? Cooper Flagg or these players? So, you're going to pick Cooper Flagg or Evan Mobley?
For the future, I'm taking Cooper Flagg. I think he's got the similar defensive upside of an Evan Mobley, but could have a much smoother offensive game.
Okay, taking Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg or Luka Doncic? Obviously, Luka is 27, so it's not like he's very young, but it's Luka Doncic.
It's hard to go past Luka. We've already seen he led an entire finals playoff series in all statistical categories. You don't see many players do it. Was it final series or the all?
The whole playoffs.
The whole playoffs,
so points, rebounds, assists, steals, 3-pointers.
When do you see a player do that? The guy is insane. Obviously, had a down year, but you can't go past what Luka Doncic did. Like,
do you take Luka?
I'm taking Luka. Yep.
Cooper Flagg or Tyrese Halliburton?
Really controversial, but I'm taking Cooper Flagg. Hallie, gun, but I think, Hallie, it's hard to take away from what he's done, but Cooper Flagg's ceiling is insane. He could be an offensive beast and one of the best defenders in the league. Hard to go past that.
All right, Cooper Flagg or SGA?
For the future, I don't know. It's hard to go past SGA because I just talked about how high his ceiling is last year and he's in the perfect situation. He could win multiple championships. Can't be hating on SGA with that. He's had a historic season. SGA.
Yeah. Cooper Flagg or Alperen Şengün?
Cooper Flagg. Alperen Şengün, he's been labelled Baby Jokic a little bit and his playmaking's insane, but I don't know if he'll reach that level where Cooper Flagg, I think, has a chance to be one like a face of the league as well. So Cooper Flagg for sure.
Cooper Flagg or Amen Thompson?
Look, everyone's super high on Amen Thompson. Like, it's insane. The way people speak about him, it's like he's the spawn of LeBron. I'm taking Cooper Flagg, I think. I think he'll come into the league way more ready than Amen, and I think he'll just set the tone straight away and be a high quality player. I don't know. Amen Thompson may have number one option in him, but Cooper Flagg definitely does.
Yeah, Cooper Flagg's offensive ceiling is way higher than Amen Thompson's.
Amen's still struggling to shoot, where Cooper Flagg, that's probably his weakest point of his game, which is insane because he can still lace it. So it's pretty impressive. All
right, Cooper Flagg or Paolo Banchero?
Cooper Flagg, I think, Yeah, Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg?
Yep, I think, Oh, it's so tough. I think Cooper Flagg, though. I think his ceiling's higher.
Right, Orlando could definitely be like a top 3 seed this year with Paolo leading the charge.
Paolo will probably be better than him for the first few years, but I think Cooper Flagg, I don't think we've seen a player come into the league, I reckon, so pro-ready at such a young age. He's the youngest player in the draft, and he's the most pro-ready out of all of them. We saw him do against like USA in the training camps and stuff. What other 18-year-old do you see and do that on Anthony Davis, an all-perimeter defender?
He's built different. He's built different.
I think Cooper Flagg.
All right, Cooper Flagg or Stephon Castle?
Cooper Flagg. High on Stephon Castle, but Cooper Flagg for sure.
Cooper Flagg or Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum.
Jawison Tatum.
Jawison Tatum. Well, how old's he now? He's about 27?
Yeah, 20.
I think Cooper Flagg.
Really?
Yep. I think Cooper Flagg.
He's ever missed a conference final?
No, obviously. No, I'm not saying.
No, he did this season.
Yeah. Jason Tatum Cooper Flagg's actually been comped to Tatum quite a bit, but I think he'll be a better defender. He's a more versatile defender. And if he can smooth up his offensive game as well, I think he's got a higher ceiling. So, give me him for the future.
Cooper Flagg or Ja Morant?
Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Yep.
Cooper Flagg or Jalen Williams?
Cooper Flagg. I think J-Dub's going to be a number 2 for his career as long as he's with SGA. Cooper Flagg can be a 1.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Cooper Flagg or Victor Wembanyama?
Wemby. You can't go past Wemby. I think those two will probably be running the league for many years, but Wemby for sure. Yeah. 100%. Yep.
That's fair enough. That's the list.
That's the list. No Anthony Edwards.
No, I didn't have Anthony Edwards.
I'd take Ian.
Yeah.
Just because it's Ian.
Figured you'd have Ian.
Yeah, love it. I want you to blind rank these number 2 draft picks since 2000. Okay? So I'll list one. You got to label them 1 to 5, all right?
I'll label these. Blind rank these number 2 draft picks.
Starting off with LaMarcus Aldridge.
God. He was a beast.
He was a beast.
I think I'll just put him at 3. I really don't know. 3. I don't know who's going to be on this list.
Okay.
Bro, he was a baller.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a Hall of Fame player because he never, really won a chip or anything. But, bro, that classic power forward.
He was beast.
Got to his spot on the post. His post game. I don't think we've seen, we don't really see that anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Number 2, Ja Morant.
Oh, which way do I go here? Ja's so young. Oh, he's better than LaMarcus Aldridge. I don't know. No, I don't know. I think I might put Ja 4. Cautiously. I feel like there's going to be way better players. I can't think of who else.
Right.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
Oh, thank God. Wait, when was MJ? He was picked 3. He was picked 3.
Yeah, but this is since 2000.
Oh, this is since 2000. KD at 1.
KD at 1.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Right. So you got 1, 3, and 4. Is that right?
So Kevin Durant at 1, Marcus Aldridge at 3, Ja Morant at 4.
All right. Tyson Chandler.
Bro, he was on 2012 Team USA.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive player of the
Won a
year.
decoy.
When I was obsessed with the Knicks, when Mallow was on there, he was the starting center. God, I can't think of else. I don't think who else is.
What do you got? You going 5 or 2?
5 or 2. I think. Oh, anyone to chip with Dallas.
Yeah.
Bro, he was a baller. I think I'm going to go 2. I'm chucking Tyson Chandler at 2.
I think that's a good call because at 5 we have Visitor Oladipo, Victor Oladipo.
Victor Oladipo.
Oh, bro, we love Victor Oladipo.
Big
pointers from the first row.
Bro, remember that Black Panther dunk contest? That was
awesome.
pretty sick.
Victor Oladipo was awesome and such a good watch. But I think you did all right there. So you had KD, Tyson Chandler, LaMarcus Aldridge, Ja Morant, Victor Oladipo.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think the only one you probably change is Aldridge to 2, Chandler to 3. Would you do that?
Bro, Chandler, defensive player of the year, champion, gold medalist.
Yeah, hey, you probably hit it. I like it.
Like, obviously,
well done.
Yeah.
Done very well. Good stuff.
Cool. Alrighty.
Yeah, awesome.
I actually put a little list together with the 4 Aussies being drafted in the same day.
Yep.
I put a list together of the top 10 all-time Australian players in the NBA. So, been a lot of good players. This list is based on just respect to some of the really all-time Aussies.
Yep.
Respect to the longevity of their career, but also the current crop that we have. And really
who's actually leaving a stamp on the NBA
giving them
right
their flowers and the actual high-quality basketball that they're playing.
Yeah,
so, I'll go from 10 to 1.
Yeah, awesome.
10, I've got Dante Exum. So, he was a high pick when he was drafted, pick 5 with Utah.
Pick 5 to the Jazz.
Obviously, he was actually out of the league, and now he's worked his way back in, played for us in the Olympics last year, was a pivotal part of the Dallas Mavericks rotation last year. He could actually be a little higher on this list because just considering the significant minutes he's played, but he's had an up-and-down career.
Yep.
Number 9, Andrew Gaze. So, I checked his stats. NBA-wise, not great. he played about 23 games or something overall in the NBA. But I'm just giving the man his flowers just because he's known as the greatest.
He's the GOAT pretty much. And back then, it was a lot harder for an Aussie to find their way through the NBA.
Yeah, the opportunity wasn't quite there. And he was the first. He was kind of the first to break the mold. Yeah. Or maybe second. Luke Longley was up there. But Gazy only averaged the 3 points in one season and then 1 point in the next and played about 20-odd games.
You take in what he did for us in the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just giving Gazy his flowers. You can't have an Aussie basketball list without him on there.
100%. The man.
Number 8, got Matthew Dellavedova.
Dally, baby.
The man, he's a cult figure with the Cavs.
He nearly died guarding Steph Curry.
The job he did on the 2014-15 series, he was starting in the NBA Finals, and then he obviously won the chip the next year with the Cavs in 2016 in that 3-1 comeback.
Yeah.
Dally, he floated around the league for a little bit after that. He signed actually a pretty big contract with the Bucks after that. Went to the Kings. Now he's back in United, and he won a chip with Melbourne United in the NBL, then he went somewhere else.
Right, I remember when the Cavs did a thing and they sent a thing to Australia saying "G'day, mate. Thanks for Dally, mate." I was like, holy shit. He was a gold hero. He was a gold hero there.
Everyone loved Dally.
I love it.
Number 7, Andrew Bogut. Number 1 pick for the Bucks, traded to the Warriors, was the starting big man on their first championship. If injuries didn't really derail his career, he could have been even better. Yeah. But got him at 7. He was great defensively in the league.
Oh, he was huge for that Warriors team because he's one of the best passing bigs they've had in terms of at the Warriors. He really helped Steph and Draymond out a lot in that sense, and Clay. He very underrated in terms of how they built that team up.
And they were actually initially going to trade, the Warriors were going to trade Steph Curry for Andrew Bogut.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that fell through. They instead traded Monte Ellis.
Good call. I think they should have kept Monte. Could have been
the sliding doors moment is insane. Bro. Imagine that.
Would have been crazy.
Okay, number 6, we got Jingle Joe Ingles. The longevity of this guy's career. Never won a championship, but Utah, where's he now? Minnesota.
Went Bucks, went Orlando, came to Minnesota. Just signed another deal to stay with us for another year. The bloke just keeps kicking.
Everyone kind of thinks of those years he was on Utah, starting at the 3, playing on PG, just getting stuck into him in a lot of those playoff series.
Biggest menace.
But we love him. We love him. And now he's just chilling with Minnesota, getting paid millions to do it.
He just gets to watch Anthony Edwards on courtside every day. Yeah. What a man.
And I reckon he'd be one of the greatest locker room guys.
Yeah, so funny.
Jingle Joe. Number 5, we got Patty Mills. Been around for forever. How many chips did he win? Did he win 2?
2 with the Spurs?
I think 2.
Yeah, 2 with the Spurs, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then he's just been floating around the league. Yep. He was on Miami last year. And one of the best Aussie, probably the best Olympic Aussie of all time.
Yeah,
but he's
Aussie
number
Curry,
5.
bro.
Number 4, 3-time Chicago Bulls champion Luke Longley.
Mm.
Was he, he wasn't the reason for success. He was, I guess, in a really good situation, but he's won 3 chips. You can't knock it. Man is one of the all-time great Aussies.
Yeah, now he's just a full-time hater on MJ.
Is
He's
he?
just going around touring, just hating,
all of them are.
hating on the GOAT. Well, baby, second GOAT.
Number 3, we got Ben Simmons.
Ooh, I was wondering where you were going to put him.
Yeah, 5 years ago, you would have thought he would have been number 1 on this list by the time his career's done. Obviously, that's just not gone to plan.
Yep.
So at his peak, man was a superstar, but I've got him at 3.
Yeah.
Number 2, I've already got Dyson Daniels. Bro, he just won the most improved player of the year. I don't know how many Aussies have ever won a significant award.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of them. I don't think any.
Ben Simmons got robbed of one.
He didn't win. No, Ben Simmons won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Got robbed
and
of
then
Depoy.
Got all-star nods. But Dyson Daniels will be all-NBA defense. We're just scratching the surface with him.
Oh, he should have won most improved and Depoy, arguably. So, yeah, for sure.
Number 1, I've already got him there. Josh Giddey. I'm calling it.
Is that a little biased?
He's going to sign the biggest Australian... Oh, no. I think Ben Simmons' contract would have been bigger.
Did, yeah.
But he's going to sign a little, mini-max. 4-year, 5-year deal, 120 mil, something like that.
So you're taking him over Dyson?
I am.
What's he done?
Night to night, this man offensively is crazy.
Yeah.
He stuffs the stat sheet. Hit the half-court shot.
I think I'm taking Dyson. I think I'd flip that 1 and 2, but I like it.
Yeah, that's
I love the list. We've had some high-quality players, and they're going to keep coming.
They are.
Proctor coming in. Rocco coming in. We love it.
Yeah.
Dash Daniels. He's finding his way in there. Bro, love it. A lot of good Aussies. We've got a lot of bright talent there.
We do.
Got a little fun segment for us here.
Okay.
Just to
I like having
have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Why are you going to make it weird? Always making shit weird, bro. But now, I want us to build a starting 5 with just $15. Okay. So I'm going to label, just to let the viewers know what we're working with here. So with the $1, we've got De'Aaron Fox, Austin Reeves, Tyrese Maxey, Julius Randle, and Domantas Sabonis. Okay. The $2, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, Zion, and Wemby.
Yep.
$3, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Jimmy, Kawhi, and AD.
Okay.
$4, SGA, Donovan, KD, LeBron, and Joel Embiid. Number 5, Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic.
If you didn't remember that, you're stupid.
Yeah. Just so we know you guys are working with something there. We've got it here.
We'll have the graphic up on the visuals.
100%. As soon as we clip it, it's going to be there.
Okay.
But this is a tough one.
So are you going to build it? Are you going to build yours and I'll build mine?
Yeah. Well, I think I've got to start with, you can't go past best player in the world. So Nikola Jokic, I'm using my $5 on him.
Yep. And
then I think I'm going to move straight to my $3 and take Steph Curry.
Okay.
So then that's $8 spent, 7 to go. So Jokic and Curry. Then I think I'm working.
Jokic and Curry, that's it.
Yeah. I think if Draymond Green's getting Steph Curry open, what's Nikola Jokic going to do? And then I think I'm going to throw KD in there. Okay. Literally possibly the best scorer
at the 3 or the 4.
I think I'm chucking him at the 3.
Okay.
And then.
Damn, that's
so what's that? That's $11 spent.
Yep. How much? Okay.
No. Yeah. Is that $11 spent?
$4, $5, $3. Yeah. So you have your $2 and your $1.
Yep. Player. And then I'm grabbing Wemby.
Victor Wembanyama.
Wemby for $2. Sorry. So that was $12 spent. Now we're up to $14 spent. Wemby at my 4.
Okay.
And then I reckon I'll throw De'Aaron Fox in there. So I've got a starting lineup of $1 for De'Aaron Fox, $2 for Victor Wembanyama, $3 for Steph Curry, $4 for Kevin Durant, and $5 for Nikola Jokic.
So you have Steph and Fox, your 1 and 2.
Yep.
You've got KD at 3. Would you have Wemby at the 4?
Wemby at the 4, Jokic at the 5.
Gee, that's pretty stacked. Not really a balanced lineup, but we've seen Steph and KD works. You got your playmaker in
100%.
Jokic. You've got
literally
Fox with your pace and your defense,
and an alien.
And then you got Wemby
in the
interior defense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be hard.
The $1 doesn't have much to offer, so you're not getting any perimeter defense out of that.
I'm gonna have Jokic as well.
Yep.
He's gonna be my 5.
Yeah, you got to.
I'm gonna match Wemby with AD. So he's $3. I'm gonna go. So Jokic and AD are my 4 and my 5.
That's locked in.
I'm gonna have KD as well. So you need the alien in there.
Yep.
So he's my $4 player. I've got $3 to use for my guards. I'm gonna go the best ISO player of all time, Kyrie Irving. $2. That leaves me, I need a shooter. I need to stretch the floor. I've got KD there, but I've got this guy. He's going to be great off Jokic is going to find him all day, and he's going to have space because they're going to be too busy guarding Kyrie and KD.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey at my 2.
Yeah, who's guarding Steph Curry? Who's guarding Steph Curry in that team?
Kyrie Irving, we've seen it.
Could have chucked Jaylen Brown in there, get some defense.
Who's Steph guarding?
Bro, we don't need to guard. We're going to score. We're going to score 1,000 points. Got Jokic, Wemby, Steph, KD, and De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, well, I've got Kyrie, Maxey, KD, AD, Jokic. Kyrie is going to just run rings around Steph. Maxey and Fox, they're very similar.
Yeah, but Fox is quick.
KD on KD, AD
on KD.
AD on Wemby, and Jokic on Jokic.
Bro, AD won't be able to get a shot up.
Who?
AD won't be able to get a shot up over Wemby.
What do you mean?
He's just going to stand there. Just give me that shit, bro. He's going to grab that out of midair.
I reckon that's pretty even. I don't know.
That is solid. That is solid. That's for the dribblers to decide.
Yeah.
Who takes the win there? Obviously me, but yeah, love it. We'll
see. Shall we move on? Oh, Jordan Clarkson signing with the Knicks.
Oh, I don't mind that.
I like that.
Don't
That's
mind
a
that
good
at
pickup.
all.
Great pickup.
Don't mind that at all. Good job to the Knicks. We don't know how much for it yet.
Good job, Shams.
That's quality. We got a little Caitlin Clark segment here. Is who has more Instagram followers, Caitlin Clark or these NBA franchises?
This is our first Caitlin Clark segment, so we better do her justice.
100%.
She's balling out.
100%. All right, so I'm going to ask you, Caitlin Clark or these NBA franchises, who has more? Starting off with Caitlin Clark or the Orlando Magic?
I reckon Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has more with Orlando at 2.1 million.
Gee, so she has more than 2.1 million followers. Okay.
Caitlin Clark or the Atlanta Hawks?
Atlanta, they're a pretty big organization. But I'm guessing Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. The Hawks have 2.6 million.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark or the Utah Jazz?
Utah. They're not massive. But I'm guessing this kind of vibe's sticking with Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Utah are only at 1.4.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
1.4.
Very.
Utah, what are you doing?
I'm not sure about that. Caitlin Clark or the Charlotte Hornets?
Right, Charlotte Hornets, MJ was their owner, so surely they had the Jordan brand going for a while. LaMelo Ball, a lot of followers with that. I'm going to go Charlotte Hornets.
Caitlin Clark has more. The Charlotte Hornets only with 2.5 mil.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark or the Golden State Warriors?
Oh, gotta be Golden State Warriors.
The Warriors with 32.6 million.
Jesus Christ.
Caitlin Clark or the Detroit Pistons?
Bad
Boy Pistons.
Bad Boy Pistons, quite an historic franchise, but I'm going to give my props to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark,
Really?
the Pistons with 1.7.
Jeez. Detroit.
Caitlin Clark or the Indiana Pacers?
God, surely the Pacers have picked up a lot recently, but so it's an Indiana athlete versus the actual total franchise. I'm going to go surely the Pacers.
They have the exact same amount. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Pacers have the same amount of followers.
Jeez.
I've got a couple more teams here, so I'm not going to reveal that yet on how many they have. But Caitlin Clark has the exact same amount as the male Indiana team that she also is playing for.
The NBA team. Wait,
yeah, well, she obviously plays for the Indiana Fever.
Right.
And then there's the Indiana Pacers. Yeah. I said it in a weird way.
Like that. The male team that she's playing for. Like, that was a word vomit if I've ever heard. All right.
Caitlin Clark or the NBA champions OKC?
Surely Oklahoma has more. Surely.
OKC has 6.2 million.
Okay.
All right. The last one.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark or the WNBA Instagram account?
Caitlin Clark or the WNBA Instagram account? I'm giving my props to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has more. The WNBA at 3.3 million. Caitlin Clark is sitting at 3.5 million followers. She has more than the entire association.
That's what she does.
I wonder who's putting her on the map.
That's what she does.
That's what she does.
Bro, she's like $1 billion player. Like,
bro, she's insane.
She brings in the money she's brought in for that organization, for that association is insane.
She's done so much. She's a gun. We'd love that.
That's our first Caitlin Clarkson win.
There
Many
you
to
go.
come. We've
Many
actually
to
been
come.
getting a bit of feedback. We haven't had any WNBA chatter.
We probably need a bit more in there. Maybe like Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese next week.
Oh, yeah.
Could do something like that. But there we go. That sums up our web. Obviously, we're just going to keep an eye out on all the trades that are happening and keep you guys updated and stuff with what's going on. There's so much to go. This is just the start of free agency. There's so much to work with, which we are excited about.
But as always, squad, thanks for tuning in. Check out our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and check out the full clip on YouTube. But yeah, as always, squad, thanks for tuning in.
We out.